Following presentation of the National Football League.
They are the faces you know so well.
Behind his blockers and coming down on the right side.
We welcome you to Texas Stadium in Irving, a spectacular November Sunday afternoon, and a fairly rare get-together between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys, only the sixth time these two teams have met. The Cowboys, with their win last week, now have a two-game edge in the NFC East. Meanwhile, Seattle, losers last week to Oakland, find themselves in the middle of a wild card chase and desperately in need of a victory. Hi, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Randy Cross. The Cowboys back where they think they belong at 7-3. And Randy, something to prove, though. 6 of those wins have come against rather weak division foes.
It really has been, and Chan Gailey knows that in this, outside this division, the running game is the key, and look for Chan Gailey and all the razzle-dazzle really to kind of go away a little. Emmitt Smith will be featured in this game, just pounding at the Seattle Seahawks football team. And for the Seahawks, Joey Galloway is their big play player. He's the guy they look to get down the field. Deion Sanders has the bad toe. We're going to see real early how good that foot is to Deion's, with Joey Galloway going down the field.
And we invite you to stay with us throughout the afternoon. We're back at Texas Stadium in just a moment. Killer day, late November, the 22nd of November, and clear skies overhead, temperature of 61 degrees, wind is calm, and the forecast for severe clear. Todd Peterson will kick off as the Seahawks lost the toss. 9 touchbacks out of 47 kickoffs so far this season. Jeff Ogden and Chris Warren are the deep men for the Cowboys. Chris Warren, of course, spent 8 seasons in a Seattle uniform in his first year now with the Dallas Cowboys. Kevin Mathis, normally one of the kickoff men on the injured list with a forearm problem. And here is Warren at the 15-yard line. And the former Seattle Seahawk gives the Cowboys excellent field position out near the 38-yard line. Tackle made by Darrell Williams. Troy Aikman celebrated his 32nd birthday yesterday, so a couple of birthday boys this week. And up front, this outstanding offensive line, Mike Kieselak gets the start for Clay Shiver again at center, and Everett McIver is back off the injured list. Emmitt Smith and Johnson in the backfield. LaFleur, the tight end. Irvin and Davis are the wide receivers. First down, 10, Dallas. Darrell Johnston starts to his right. Aikman will throw on first down. Goes deep left side. Almost picked off. Intended for Billy Davis and Fred Thomas, who starts in place of Willie Williams, at good defensive position on the first play. The Seahawks up front are led by Michael Sinclair's 11 sacks. Sam Adams, Cortez Kennedy, and Philip Daniels complete that group. Darren Smith, a former Cowboy, back after a 1-week absence because of injury. And in the secondary, it's Fred Thomas starting for the injured Willie Williams. Second down and 10. Aikman to throw for the second time, comes right this time to Billy Davis. And Davis to the 45, hit initially by Fred Thomas, number 22, and then Jay Bellamy comes up to help. That's a gain of 7.
Well, Chan Gailey has decided that Fred Thomas is going to get his test bright and early in this game right here down in Dallas, working against Billy Davis. Watch him give up the ground, and Billy Davis cut and move with the hands. You love the handwork now with the receivers in the NFL. Yes, a lot of it's pushing off. Yes, some of it's holding. But the receivers now get away with as much working against defensive backs as they ever have. And Fred Thomas is going to see a lot of balls his way today.
On third down, the Cowboys spread it out. Jeff Ogden and Patrick Jeffers are in as additional wide receivers. Here's Aikman. Drills it. First down. Caught across the 50-yard line. Catch made by Michael Irvin, who really handled the exasperation of having that streak come to an end last week rather well.
The one word I'd use most for this Dallas Cowboy offensive stars would be maturity. Troy's more mature, Emmitt's more mature, and the way that Michael Irvin handled that was very, very mature. Hey, look, we won the game. That's what's important. But I tell you what, you're going to see a lot of Michael Irvin today. They want to get the ball to Michael Irvin and down the field.
There's the streak to which we refer. It came to an end last week. Here's Emmett Smith. And he's to the 45-yard line, Jay Bellamy. 46-year-old Chan Gailey in his first year as the 4th head coach in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. And 52-year-old Dennis Erickson in his 3rd year as the 5th head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. The one is under more pressure than the other. 2nd down and 6. Things are going swimmingly for Gailey in his first year. Double tight end set now. Cowboys at the Seattle 45-yard line. Aikman again to throw, and again goes left. Catch made by Irvin, his 2nd grab. Fred Thomas with the tackle. Bjornson rather than Irvin. Well, the Cowboys have not scored a touchdown on their opening drive in 33 games.
And that's regular season games.
Right.
And the key really here is they've come out against the Seattle Seahawks defense and said, we're going to throw the ball. This is not how Seattle expected them to come out. I think they expected Chan Gailey's offense to be powerful, to pound it, and set the run up with the pass.
3rd and 2, twin receivers to the right side. Motion from Eric Williams at right tackle. And that'll cost the Cowboys 5.
5 yards. It's still 3rd down.
Jerry Austin is the referee today.
It's one of the areas that the Cowboys do have an edge, I believe, is at the offensive tackle to defensive end matchup with Eric Williams and Larry Allen, 2 of the more physical offensive tackles you're going to find on any team in the NFL. For an AFC comparison, I would say you'd have to look at a Tony Baselli, Leon Searcy type combination down at Jacksonville.
3rd and 7. Chris Warren is in the lineup, and the Cowboys go from the shotgun. Bellamy comes up and might be coming. He is on a safety blitz. The pass complete on the left side. Michael Irvin in front of Fred Thomas. Let's go back and take a look at some of that offensive line play.
Well, you know, Jeff Ogden working against Fred Thomas. Top of the screen here, and he's getting all that room. It's 3rd and 7. All he has to do is drive off past the marker, turn around, and get the ball. I mean, the Seattle defense has to realize that's Troy Aikman. He's an accurate quarterback, and the reason Troy's able to do that is the blocking from Allen and that offensive line, and Chris Warren doing a great job picking up the blitz.
1st down, Dallas. The toss to Emmitt Smith. Johnston helps lead the way, and Emmitt Smith closing in on yet another 1,000-yard season. Chad Brown and Sean Springs make the tackle, and
we got a limping player. It's Dean Wells, the middle linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks, coming off the field.
Wells, who had his first interception of his career last week in the loss in Oakland, and Anthony Simmons hurries onto the field. 2nd down and 4. There's Anthony Simmons, who started in place of Darren Smith last week, #1 draft choice this year. Irvin and Davis near side. Aikman looks for Billy Davis, and Fred Thomas does a nice job of getting back. There's a flag, however, at the 26.
Illegal receiver downfield on Eric Williams. He fired right out, and he was downfield when that pass was thrown. It really looked like they might have called a play action pass, you know, like fake 64, such and such down the field. Eric thought it was a 64.
Ineligible downfield. Number 79 of the offense, 5 yards. Repeat 2nd down.
Well, that's back-to-back penalties on the right tackle now.
Well, here's Eric Williams. Take a look at what happens on that play. You know, remember the fake part? Well, there's nothing faking about Eric Williams there. He is down the field, well down the field. Was set up for a heck of a block.
He had a comfortable stance.
If they were running 64 right, that was going to get some serious yards.
Well, he had the motion penalty, now ineligibly downfield.
This guy, he's a mauler, though, and Chan Gailey's got some offensive tackles that, you know, doesn't like to see his veteran tackle making mistakes, but these guys can physically take players out of football games the way they play.
2nd down and 9. Irvin split top of the screen, the handoff, and a cutback play for Emmitt Smith, who was contacted immediately by Darren Smith, who spent the first 4 years of his career in a Cowboy uniform. So Darren and Emmett with a common last name.
That was one of the great things when Jimmy Johnson was here and he first started playing his style of defense with the Cowboys. He had a Darren Smith at outside linebacker who could run. That was always the key. That was an early trend. Now everybody's got Darren Smiths, guys that are decent size but can really get to the football quickly.
Cowboys have Jeff Ogden, Patrick Jeffers back in. And they have a 4 wide receiver set. Ernie Mills is also on the field. Here's Aikman. Nothing to the right side, nothing to the left. He's got a scramble. And he's being chased by Darren Smith. He is knocked out of bounds short of the first down at the 30-yard line. Terrific downfield coverage by the Seahawks then.
Well, the downfield coverage was very good, but when you got a receiver like a Michael Irvin, are they ever truly completely covered? In this case, heck no. He's not covered at all. Look at this. But you got to realize there's Sean Springs, but Troy Aikman is going the other way, running for his life. He never saw Michael Irvin.
Richie Cunningham on to try a 48-yard field goal now. Eric Bjornsson will hold, and Dale Hellestray snaps it back. Nice start for Richie Cunningham. Nice start for Chan Gailey. Nice start for the Dallas Cowboys. They take an early lead of 3-zip. Puts the Cowboys on top with a 48-yard field goal. And it comes at the end of a 32-yard drive. Troy Aikman 4 of 5 in the opening drive. And Toby Goen will kick off as Cunningham gets some stretching exercises on the bench. Here's Goen. Sails that one. And Amon Green, halfway toward the back of the end zone, decides to drop to one knee. Well, today he starts his first football game as a 42-year-old quarterback. Warren celebrating his 42nd on Wednesday. Been a long week, though, in lieu of loss to Oakland last week. He's got Walter Jones, Kendall, Chris Gray, Brian Habib, and Ballard up front. Ricky Waters, the featured running back. Christian Fourier, a tight end. And Joey Galloway will test Deion Sanders early today. And Joey Galloway comes left and opens up against Deion Sanders on first down. Play fake. Moon in some trouble, pulls up and lets it go. And a flag is going to be thrown, perhaps roughing the passer on Leon Lett. Here's Jerry Austin. Could be Kavika Pittman. Let's see.
Roughing the passer. Number 78 of the defense hit the quarterback in the head. 15 yards, automatic first down.
That is not intentional, too. If you watch this, Leon Lett is Leon Lett. Here he is, a defensive tackle. Watch as he rushes. You know, his intent is to blow through the offensive line, and he starts to do that. His intent number 2 is to get at Warren Moon. His intent isn't to hit Warren Moon. He catches him right in the face with an elbow. But it's going to be called right now because they're protecting the quarterback.
Third penalty on the Cowboys in the early going. Here's the draw play. Ricky Waters. Oh, boy, sandwiched. Led by Greg Ellis and Randall Godfrey. Defensively for the Cowboys, they line up this way. Up front, it's Ellis, Lett, Chad Hennings, and Kavika Pittman. The linebackers have Coakley and Godfrey on the outside. Strickland in the middle. Kevin Smith, Deion Sanders with the injured toe. Darren Woodson, Omar Stoutmeyer in the secondary.
The first play was that play-action fake, and Warren went right. He was trying to throw the ball back to Joey Galloway, working against Deion Sanders. He just didn't get the protection to pull it off.
Second down, 11. Galloway again comes left. Sanders plays well back. Here's a toss to Waters. Max Strong tries to get him around the corner. Ricky Waters chased out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Darren Woodson was there defensively. Now to check in with the third member of our commentary team. Here's Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Vern, they won't call Deion Sanders' injury turf toe, but the Dallas medical staff is dealing with it much like it is. Sanders has a metal plate taped to the inside front half of that left shoe, and that's designed to keep the ball of the foot and all 5 toes working as one unit rather than having that big left toe work on its own, guys.
Third down, 6. Thanks, Michelle. Here's Moon back to throw. 4-man rush. Goes right, finds his receiver. Catch is made by James McKnight. A 16-yard gain, and perhaps a play of significance for Seattle.
Exactly. The problems they had last week, besides the injuries, is the penalties, they also had drops. And McKnight, working at the top of the screen there, dropped a couple on Warren Moon, made the stats look bad, and killed a lot of drives. This is what Seattle has to do. They have to answer this kind of call. They can't drop passes, and against Dallas, you have to take advantage of every opportunity.
Max Strong split out wide to the left. Moon goes right. He's got Galloway open, and the catch is going to be made at the sideline, a gain of 12 in front of Kevin Smith this time.
Well, if anybody has any questions of how unusual Warren Moon is in the NFL at 42, all you had to do is really see that play. Warren Moon dropped back and got hammered just as he was letting that ball go, and he threw that thing just on a frozen rope. There's a lot of 22-year-old quarterbacks that aren't going to step up and can't deliver the ball with the kind of velocity Warren Moon just did on that completion, despite Coakley's rush.
Here's the handoff to Ricky Waters on 1st down and 10, and Waters gets just inside the 30-yard line. Now it's Monday on CBS. Dave Letterman hosts all new Thanksgiving episodes of Cosby, King of Queens, and Everybody Loves Raymond, followed by Dave's 5th anniversary primetime special, Monday on CBS. 2nd down and 6, Seattle trailing by 3. Just inside the 30. Toss to Waters. He comes left. Goes by Deion Sanders, who made a pass at him, slowed him up just a bit. And Ricky Waters is down at the 26.
Hey, this is another thing that Seattle wants to establish. They've got a big, strong, physical offensive line up front. And Dallas is not a very big defense. They've got the big defensive tackles. But this offensive line has to set Ricky Waters up on the edges. Make it feel like he's running downhill.
Well, a week ago in the loss to Oakland, this team was 0 for 13 on 3rd down conversions. They are 2 for 27 in the last 2 games. 3rd and 3 here. Blitz coming. Moon hit. That's a fumble, and it's a loose ball picked up by the Cowboys. Fumble caused by Darren Woodson. Kavika Pittman grabs it.
Miscommunication up front on Warren Moon's offensive line. You protect from the inside out. You got no business turning free a safety right up the gut.
Warren Moon with the fumble. Darren Woodson got through untouched. And the fumble recovered by Kavika Pittman. Cowboys at the Seattle 49-yard line. Smith has now gone over 1,000 yards for the 8th consecutive year. Brett Thomas hustles him out of bounds, but a gain of 11. And Emmitt Smith, who is running superbly this season, continues an excellent effort this afternoon.
And the reason this is all set up is that the fumble by Warren Moon. Watch Darren Woodson right here. I said you have to protect from the inside out. Watch the line. Block the blitzing linebacker. There's no one to pick him up. That's great defensive scheme by Dave Campo and his defense.
Emmitt Smith now 1,010 on 224 carries this season. Aikman will throw after a play fake, goes deep right side for Ernie Mills, and Thomas is back there. It's incomplete. 3-0 the score here. Let's go back to New York and Jim Nantz and find out what's going on elsewhere in the league.
All right, Vern, turnovers. The story at Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, this critical one a moment ago. Brunell picked off by Dwayne Washington. A quick 7 there for the Steelers. Playing at home, must win today. Back to you.
All right, Jim, 3-0 the score here. Dallas trying to win outside its conference and indeed outside of its division. Billy Davis back in the lineup after a 1-play rest on 2nd down and 10. Aikman fakes, goes across the middle for his tight end. That's caught by David LaFleur, and Darren Smith makes the tackle.
That was good defense by Seattle. I'll tell you, Troy Aikman was trying to set up that kind of double pump fake. He faked the screen left, wanted to throw the ball out to the right to Emmitt Smith. Defense defensed it perfectly, and it's exactly why this offense is designed, just to dump the tight end over the middle to give him that third option so he won't have to eat the ball.
And the Cowboys will go with 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 9. Shotgun formation for Troy Aikman. And another flag. This one thrown by Jerry Austin.
Number 82 of the offense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
Log on to NFL.com and help select the 1999 Pro Bowl teams, plus check out all the playoff scenarios as the teams qualify for the postseason at www.nfl.com.
Yeah, when Dallas gets in this 4 wide receiver formation, Chan Gailey's doing something a little different. He's got Jeff Ogden and Patrick Jeffers on the outside, and he's putting Ernie Mills and Michael Irvin in the slots to try to get the matchups he wants.
And Billy Davis getting a rest because he's participating in special teams. Here's Aikman, got a man open, caught at the 22. Patrick Jeffers, signed after the season began. That's his 2nd catch as a Cowboy. This one for 19 yards.
Troy Aikman told us Friday, you know, this Patrick Jeffers, I really like him. You know, he's one of those guys, we got to find a way to get him on the field, but it's a nice problem we have because who comes off to get Patrick Jeffers some playing time? But Chan Gailey and Troy have both been quoted in the last couple of weeks as saying they expect Patrick Jeffers to be pushing for a starting job by next year.
1st down and 10 after the conversion. Backs in the eye. Here's Emmitt Smith coming right. Gets a block from Johnston. And then is ridden out of bounds as he nears the 20 by Chad Brown, number 94. Chad, who is one of those who is playing well for the Seattle Seahawks.
Chad is flat out a warrior. I don't care if Chad is playing for who pays for beer after the game, you know, on a muddy lot somewhere at home, or he's in Pittsburgh where he was, or he's here in Seattle. You can guarantee every single down this guy is going to be playing his guts out. That's why it eats at him so bad that Seattle is in the spin they've been in the last 7 weeks at 2 and 5.
2nd down and 7 Dallas. Emmitt Smith coming right again and cutting back to the 15-yard line. He'll be short of the 1st down by about 3. Emmitt Smith talking about his health and the offensive line's health as equal parts responsible for his improvement. And a player is down for the Cowboys. Eric Williams or Everett McIver will double check and see which one when we come back.
We're right here working against Dan Saliamua. Came in with a bad knee, had missed a few games. This ain't pretty. It's going to be another little problem with that left leg. That is not going to be good, and there's a card out on the field helping McIver off the field. He was a free agent signing. Dallas was very excited about getting this guy from the Miami Dolphins and the power he would bring. And what this means for the Dallas Cowboys is it brings in Flozell Adams, that offensive guard. He's a young guy. He's played well, but he's going to have to step up. He's playing next to Eric Williams. Those are he's got some tall standards playing next to him.
Flozell Adams has started the last 5 games, 2nd-round draft pick from Michigan State, and so he's back unexpectedly.
Well, Flozell Adams, too, is a tackle of the future. He worked at 3 positions this week, right guard, right tackle, and left tackle. And you see Dallas, when they get it down here, they put it in there with the best of them.
Ernie Mills split top of the screen. On 3rd down, Aikman looks that direction, fires in the flat for Johnson, and that's another 1st down. Darren Smith. Darryl Johnston had neck surgery a year ago, and his style of play, what they're asking of him, Randy, has changed a little bit this year.
A little bit less of a battering ram. A little bit more of a, you know, Bill Walsh style offensive fullback where you're catching the ball out of the backfield, which is something Darryl Johnston's always done great. Don't get me wrong. This guy will still go in there and light up a linebacker. It just seems they don't ask him to do it 30 times a game.
Ernie Mills in motion. Michael Irvin stays split wide left on 1st and goal. Aikman settles short. Emmitt Smith winds his way in for a touchdown. The 128th touchdown of Emmitt Smith's career, It's only the 8th receiving touchdown of his brilliant stint in Dallas. And Sean Springs is on the floor.
That was the case there for Emmitt Smith. He just decided he was going to score. Watch the offensive line in front of him get the rudimentary job done. Kieselak's out there getting a nice job. A little block back by Flozell Adams. But Chad Brown had a shot, Darrell Williams had a shot, Darren Smith had a shot, and Emmitt Smith wouldn't be stopped. I guess it never gets old, even for now a 32-year-old quarterback as of yesterday. Troy Aikman pretty excited about getting his first one on the board.
And the 137th touchdown of Aikman's career. Sean Springs, whose father Ron played for the Cowboys back in the late 70s, early 80s, and is a resident of Dallas and is in attendance today, looking on, I'm sure, with concern as Sean Springs, his son, is getting the medical attention. Got caught up in a lot of traffic there as Emmitt Smith went by him toward the goal line.
This is a young cornerback that's really rallied great this year. Last year, a couple of teams really lit him up. And I think a lot of people said, wow, this is the guy from Ohio State that's supposed to be so great. Well, he's the guy now people try to stay away from. You saw people opening the game going after Fred Thomas. They've opened the games going after Willie Williams, who's a regular on the other side. Very rarely do teams go out of their way now to go after Sean Springs. Here's Sean Springs right there in a little bit of a sandwich. Gets rolled up. See that roll up right there? It was Chad Brown, his own teammate, came in and rolled up on the back of his leg.
Well, he decides not to make use of the cart. He will limp over to the near side of the field.
As a player, I will tell you, anyhow, any way, I'm not getting on the cart. I mean, I blew a knee out in New Orleans in '85, and I said no. I couldn't get up. So worse than the cart, they put me on one of these little chairs that kind of wheel you out there. I mean, the cart is something players want to avoid because that tells the coaches I can't play. And Sean Springs, we talked about that warrior attitude, and you got to do it this week for Seattle. That's what the message he's sending to the coaches.
Here's the extra point attempt. Richie Cunningham up and through. Emmitt Smith catches one for a touchdown and increases the Cowboy lead to 10. Toby Goen will kick off for the Cowboys. A scoring drive, 49 yards, following the penalty of the fumble recovery by Kavika Pittman. And here is Goen kicking off. This will be Amon Green, the rookie out of Nebraska at the 2. And he heads right with Jerry Joseph leading the way out of bounds near the 30-yard line. And time has been called. We'll return to Texas Stadium in Irving with the Cowboys on defense, protecting a 10-0 edge. Seconds to go in the first quarter. That ever so familiar rectangle of sun creeping into the end zone here at Texas Stadium. Emmitt Smith has passed Marcus Allen on the all-time rushing list. He's now got Jim Brown in his sights. That might happen before the afternoon is out. Here's Moon back. Warren Moon, incomplete. 28 yards on 6 carries now for Emmitt Smith. He's just nudged by our colleague Marcus Allen, and he's chasing Jim Brown for the number 5 spot. Don't think he's going to catch Tony Dorsett this afternoon.
You got a heck of a scoop if he does. This Seattle Seahawks offense, though, has watched Emmitt Smith and the Cowboys move the ball, score 10 points, and put them down 10-zip. This offense has to do something for the Seattle defense.
Here's Waters coming left. Gets a block on Pittman, but not much there. Well, the offensive problems have been much discussed in the Pacific Northwest. This is an offense mired in mud right now.
Well, the dreaded, you know, they look great on paper. You hear it from the other players, you hear it from the coaches, and Ricky Waters, 5 carries, 12 yards so far, but, you know, they look good on paper. You know, the only thing that looks good on paper are dead presidents, and we call that money. Outside of that, forget looks good on paper.
3rd and 9. Blitz coming. Moon pumps once. Not very mobile at 42. Caught and dropped by Charlie Williams, number 25.
There's not many quarterbacks out there, especially right-handed quarterbacks, that when they scramble to the left and are trying to throw to the right, move that quickly. And Warren Moon, I think, read that blitz, saw that blitz, and should have gotten rid of that ball earlier than eating it and giving up those yards.
There is a flag way downfield. Here's Jerry Austin. It's at the 43-yard line.
Well, a foul on the play, unsportsmanlike on the defense. As the side judge is going backwards to cover the play, number 42 is in the white area and knocks the side judge down. That's an unsportsmanlike play, 15 yards, automatic first down.
That's Chris Warren.
Well, you know, Dallas needs a move back guy. Every team's got a move back guy, and Chan Gailey's a new coach this year, and I guess he hasn't designated the move back guy, but I know it's not going to be Chris Warren. You're always going to try to keep your guys behind that white line. See that white line? You can't get in front of that, or you're considered by the officials as potentially in play. And Chris Warren was not potentially in play. He was in play.
Who was your get-back guy in San Francisco?
It kind of varied. We had one guy named Roy Gilbert.
Yeah?
An older gentleman. That was his job. He stood near Coach Walsh, and he turned around, and that's all he said for 3 hours. All right, get back. Get back. That's why you call them get-back guys.
Oh, dear. Well, the Cowboys need a get-back guy. Here's Jerry Austin again.
Automatic first down.
It is an automatic first down. That was the essence of what Jerry Austin was explaining to the crowd. Chan Gailey will have a get-back guy by Monday.
I don't know if he's going to have the get-back guy, but I think Chris Warren's just been gotten back to the bench. You want to watch. See, that's getting back. Now you got plenty of room between him and the coaches.
See if they no, they will not get the last play of the quarter up. We'll return to Texas Stadium at the end of the quarter. This message and a word from your local station.
Happens. The guy in the windbreaker here on the left, he'd be my get-back guy because he's not doing his job. And look at Chris Warren. He's almost on the field. Look at the look. See that look? It's not bad enough to be called for a penalty. Then you get the stare. Tommy
Moore, the side judge. Here's Moon. A fake reverse. Ricky Waters doesn't have much of a fake.
That's okay. He didn't get much in the way of blocking either. Seattle, you're seeing the Dallas defense do what they do well, and that's plug things up and fly to the ball. Watch the Dallas defense inside. They're strong. They're stout. Greg Ellis does a really nice job just holding up the blocking. And that's why Coakley is supposed to. That's what a Dallas linebacker does. The linemen take up the blockers. The linebackers flow to the ball.
Second down and 9. Moon with time goes left side. Incomplete for Galloway. In front of Deion Sanders. It'll be 3rd and 9. Tonight on CBS, from the people who brought you last year's #1 TV movie, What the Deaf Man Heard, Hallmark Hall of Fame proudly presents the story of a man whose life takes an unexpected turn when tragedy strikes, leaving him to raise his brother's family. It's called St. Maybe, tonight on CBS.
Vern, I don't understand, with Deion Sanders limping, the defense having to adjust, why they haven't at least tried it down the field.
And we were told they would. Here's the shot. One hopper, incomplete. That one looked like a stone skipping across the pond. Warren Moon not off to a quick start. It was intended for Galloway.
Well, you know, Warren Moon doesn't have the tallest receivers in the world, and he looked at Deion Sanders playing way off the ball and figured he could just drill one for the first down to his receiver Galloway. You know, but this field is heavily crowned. He's throwing down. He didn't throw the ball high enough so it wouldn't fly.
This will get the crowd going. Deion Sanders, we were told, would not return punts.
So much for the bad foot.
Here's the kick from Fiegels. And a fair catch called by Deion Sanders. And the Cowboys, Jeff Fiegels pins them back inside the 15-yard line. A 43-yard punt. Dallas up by 10. Telling the Cowboys sideline, his team up by 10 on offense now.
Yeah, Dion does not only just affect other offenses, he affects his own offense, his own defense. The defense plays better just knowing that security blanket's out there.
First down and 10. Aikman, 8 of 10 throwing the ball so far. Emmett Smith gets the handoff and picks up a yard or two up the middle, and Darren Smith makes the tackle. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Vern, Seattle cornerback Sean Springs has a sprained right knee, and his return is doubtful. You mentioned earlier that his father, Ron Springs, a former Cowboy running back, was here to see his son play at Texas Stadium for the first time. Unfortunately, the younger Springs outing appears to have been shortened, Vern.
I remember Ron Springs very well, a teammate of Tony Dorsett. And Terry McDaniel, who's long of tooth, is in at cornerback now. 36-year-old Terry McDaniel wearing that number. Here's Aikman, play fake. Gets a little pressure. Hasn't been sacked in 10 quarters and will not be here. Darren Smith and Dean Wells collaborate defensively.
Now this is a nice job by the Seattle defense, playing good team defense. They're blitzing Dean Wells, they're blitzing Chad Brown, but Troy still has nowhere to go, and he's got Dean Wells chasing him and trying to get after him. And this is what you want to do if you're Seattle. Their defensive coordinator, Greg McMackin, has got to pick his spots as to when to attack Troy Aikman, but he may have to attack him more now with two backup cornerbacks in the game.
Brett Thomas and Terry McDaniel are the corners. Terry Joseph in as a nickel back, 4 wide receivers, and Aikman will throw. Comes to his left, the flag is down. This one might be coming back. Brett Thomas with the tackle on Ernie Mills.
It's going to be holding on Flozell Adams, working on Mike Sinclair.
Holding, number 76 of the offense. Half a distance to the goal. Repeat, third down.
Anytime you see a defensive player get a little hitch in his get-along, watch Flozell Adams right there. Now watch the hitch in his get-along. There's the hold. There's the tug. And there's kind of hitch in the get-along. The body just stops and jerks. Just to the right. Hand up high. Rip is performed. And the hold is performed before he can get to Troy.
That's 6 penalties against the Cowboys here in the first half. And it sets up a 3rd and 15. Aikman will operate out of the shotgun. Mike Kislak will send it back. No blitz. Aikman forced a little to his left, and it's dropped across the middle by Jeff Ogden, number 82, the rookie from Eastern Washington. And Dallas will have to punt.
Another good job of that defense attacking the Cowboys offense, not sitting back and saying, hey, we've got some physical problems, not everybody's healthy. You know, Chad Brown, Sam Adams, that whole defense is getting after Troy, and that's what they need to do. Don't sit back and say, golly, we're playing the Cowboys. Go smack them in the mouth.
Galloway returned to punt for a touchdown in Oakland last week. He awaits Toby Goins' first effort this afternoon, and this one not his best. And it takes a Seattle hop straight up in the air. Bjornsson is there to down it. But a 36-yard punt gives Seattle their best field position of the ball game. Went in November, Sunday afternoon, and the Cowboy defense looking at Warren Moon and the Seattle offense. Seattle trailing by 10. They've got the ball at the 44. Ricky Waters behind Moon, 4-man rush, and Moon goes deep right side for Galloway. He's there. Touchdown. They beat Kevin Smith. Warren Moon took his shot on first down, and Galloway, one of the fastest men in the league, sped by Kevin Smith for the touch.
Yeah, Kevin Smith is one of those players I don't think anybody in their right mind wants to play the other corner across from Dion, because they've thrown a couple at Dion and they said, the heck with that, we're going after Kevin Smith. And that's not an indictment on Kevin Smith. He's just struggled some this year, and you got a receiver like Joey Galloway, who is a blur. I mean, they just used their blur against a pretty good cornerback, and the blur won.
I fought the ball. Never mind. Here's Peterson with the extra point.
Well, the song says, I fought the blur, and the blur won.
You knew where I was going.
This is definitely one to chalk up on the blur side.
catch by Joey Galloway from Warren Moon. They beat Kevin Smith, the one-time #1 draft pick, who, because he plays opposite Deion Sanders, gets a lot more attention than might normally. Now Todd Peterson getting ready to kick it for the Seattle Seahawks. Chris Warren and Jeff Ogden await the kick. This will be Chris Warren at the 7. Flags all over the place. And this one could be coming back inside the 20. And another penalty. Well, this is something Seattle unused to, with 14 penalties last week and 13 the week before, to see the other team going in the wrong direction.
Illegal block from behind during the run back, number 45 of the return team. Half a distance to the goal. First down. 22.
Right here. It's the fullback, Sualua. That's close enough, though, folks, to being in the back. For an official, when he's got the different angle, he's looking at that from the back of the defender, and suddenly he sees you pushing like that, he is going to give that penalty.
And for the second time now, the Cowboys began an offensive drive inside their own 10-yard line.
Now, this is the part of the field that if you're the Dallas offense, you got to find out what kind of pass blockers and run blockers your offensive line is, because they're going to be coming after Troy.
Motion from Ernie Mills. Aikman sets up, drills it. Nice pass right on the money to Billy Davis. And they quickly move out to the 26-yard line.
Well, for those of you who might have a question about what kind of offensive line Troy Aikman has, he's got a pretty good one. They rushed 4. He had plenty of time. Look at the room Terry McDaniel is giving Billy Davis. That is way too much cushion. And look at Larry Allen working right here against Daniels, 93. That's almost being put in the tunnel. He needs a program picture to recognize what Troy Aikman looks like after getting pushed out there by Larry Allen.
Gain of 19, first down at the 27. Here's Aikman, goes at Sean Springs, who's back in the lineup. And Michael Irvin makes the catch in front of an applauding Sean Springs. That's a gain of 13.
Well, Deion Sanders has the rep. And even if he's hurt, teams don't want to attack him. The Dallas Cowboys know Sean Springs twisted that knee on that play. Might be a little slowed up, and right now they're going to take his temperature.
Well, that was his first play back. We were told he might not return, but Sean Springs cinched it up and said, I'm back on the field.
Yeah, remember, he didn't get on the cart?
Right.
And mentioned the thing about being the warrior and sending the right message to the coaches. The coaches got the message.
First down and 10. Here's a toss to Emmitt Smith. Aikman is buried. Wow. Sam Adams got right at it. Great penetration.
Remember that left collarbone Troy Aikman hurt against Denver earlier this year, and when he hurt it, he was kind of half scrunched down onto the turf. And boy, right now, number 98, Sam Adams, is vice president of scrunch, because he puts a scrunch on Troy. And that's just a good, quick first swim move by Adams. I mean, he was there before Troy was there.
Second down and 9. 3 wide receivers for Dallas. They enjoyed the 3-point lead. Here's the draw play. And Smith finds an opening, pops it up across the 45 to the 47. Let's take a look at the CBS Sportsline question of the week, where we ask you, who's the most dominating linebacker in the 90s? Here are your choices: Kevin Green, Levon Kirkland, Junior Seau. Log on to vote at cbssportsline.com or on America Online at keyword CBS Sportsline.
That's a good selection. You've got a great pass rusher in Kevin Green. You've got one of the better run linebackers and big old linebackers in Levon Kirkland.
Big old would apply.
And probably the best all-around inside linebacker we've seen in quite a while, athletically, in Junior Seau.
Third down, Dallas. Aikman pops it out. Ernie Mills, that's going to be close for the first down. Fred Thomas delivered a blow on Ernie Mills.
Well, a couple of guys make good plays here. I think Ernie Mills, great presence of mind. Offensive line, running backs, good job of blocking. But watch Ernie Mills after the catch. He has the presence of mind to know where the first down marker is. Fred Thomas is rocking his world and lighting them up, but he still has the presence of mind to try to get that ball to the first down marker. That's showing me you might have the wind knocked out of you. It might not feel good, but he's got the brains and the presence of mind to do that and get a first down.
Move the chain, Dallas, as they near midfield. They've climbed out of a hole now, having begun this drive at their own 8-yard line. And Ernie Mills getting some medical attention on the Cowboys sideline. Bjornsson comes in now for the Cowboys. Darrell Johnson goes out. Aikman 11 of 14 for 97 yards. We chatted with him Friday. He's also, in addition to the shoulder problem, he's got that huge laceration on his index finger of his throwing hand.
It's not so much the finger down there where it bothers him. It's up high in the knuckle. It says it really makes it tough to throw.
Play fake. Aikman looking left. Pumps once, pumps twice, and throws it right at the umpire.
And who exactly? That's not past the line of scrimmage either. Troy Aikman trying to throw that away to avoid a sack, and I don't think he got it back to the line of scrimmage. Wasn't outside the tackles or the tackle tight end box.
Intentional grounding. Number 8 of the offense, 10 yards. Loss of down. Second down.
Well, you know, pick your choice as to which one it happens. See the box, it's tight end to tackle, and you got to get past the ball, also past the line of scrimmage. He's not outside the box. He's trying to get rid of it to avoid a sack. And plus on top of that, he gets our umpire, Jim Duke, kind of drills it into him. So that was a 2- or 3-way grounding rule there.
Mike Kieselak had the presence of mind to not reach up and grab it. Second down, Aikman back. Comes left, and it's caught by Michael Irvin. Here, Darren Smith makes the tackle. Thanksgiving weekend, the Bowl Shakeout continues on CBS Sports on Friday. Some of you will see LSU against Arkansas. Others will watch West Virginia against Pittsburgh. On Saturday, a doubleheader, Georgia Tech, Georgia, or Miami, Syracuse. College football, the NASDAQ Amex kind. And it begins with the NCAA today.
Michelle Tafoya will be there Friday at LSU, Arkansas, and then in my backyard there in Atlanta, Georgia, we'll have that Georgia Tech tussle. They don't like each other is a understatement.
3rd and 12. Aikman gets some pressure, goes across the middle of it. Crossing pattern. 19-yard gain.
Yeah, I don't know who enjoys his post-catch routine more, Michael Irvin or this crowd, but here's the Michael Irvin we expected to see. Is he down the field? Well, sort of down the field, but he's going to cross. And you get defensive backs, they worry about Michael Irvin. That's why Darrell Williams comes in and goes for the shoulder, gets the neck, and makes sure Michael Irvin's not going any farther.
Double tight end set for the Cowboys. Irvin goes out against Sean Springs, top of your screen. Aikman back, goes in the corner for Sean Springs, and Irvin, and it's incomplete. We were talking with Tim Brown of the Raiders last week about this guy, Sean Springs. He said, man, does he talk.
Well, he's got a good match, because I know Michael Irvin isn't exactly backing off the yapping either, but we said, you know, they're going to take his temperature. And I think Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin just found out it's 98.6. It's normal. It's Sean Springs of the way it should be, and maybe if we're going to attack somebody, we're going to go do a little business on the other side with Fred Thomas.
Second down and 10. 10-7, Dallas leads it. Aikman, left side this time. There's Sean Springs, knocks it away. Michael Irvin got a little help from Darrell Williams.
And the great thing to watch here is the recovery of Sean Springs. Watch the line of scrimmage. A physical Michael Irvin. He wants to hit him. He wants to knock him. He tugs him. He pulls him. Springs falls behind, but catches up, looks back, and Darrell Williams basically prevents him from catching the ball as he smacks him in the mug. Good play by Springs. We figured out his temperature was 98.6. I think the folks out there did. And maybe Chan Gailey just was convinced it might be normal.
4 wide receiver set for the Cowboys on 3rd and 10. Blitz coming. They settle it left side for Chris Warren, and that is not enough to move the chain. Fred Thomas defending. And that would bring up a 4th down. As Chris Warren, the former Seahawk, makes the grab. Richie Cunningham will come on.
The important part of this play is watch Troy Aikman. He's trying to make fakes. They're faking a reverse. They're faking a throwback. He gets decked. Yeah, and this is one thing I think that's actually a little bit on the good side, a positive for Troy, is he's really positive now after the last couple weeks. That collarbone is back.
44 yards officially. The field goal attempt. Cunningham has already hit from 48, and he's perfect from 44. So the Dallas Cowboys move from their own 8 into field goal range, and Chad Gailey's team is up by 6. The Cowboys have increased their lead to 6, 13-7. Toby Goen getting ready to kick off again. 13-7 Dallas. 6:28 to go, first half.
What a great drive, though, by the Cowboys. Good job by Seattle of holding them to what they held them to, but they came all the way down the field.
Amon Green waits for the kick and takes it 2 yards deep. Brings it out. He's got a little room. And the tackle made at the 25-yard line by George Teague, number 31. Doubleheader for you, and coming up next, most of you will see the Denver Broncos hosting the Oakland Raiders at Mile High as Denver tries to win its 11th in a row. Others will see the Jets take on Tennessee and Kansas City against San Diego. That's the second game of our doubleheader on CBS.
I really do think Denver's got a shot at running the table.
Do you?
They are physically, condition-wise, the best team in the NFL right now.
Warren Moon gets the snap from Chris Gray. Ricky Waters breaks it up the middle. Nice run. And Waters breaks a tackle out to the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain.
Well, I talked about taking temperatures. How about sending a message? You're Ricky Waters, and you're this offensive line. You want to send a little message to the Dallas defense. You do a good job getting Leon Lett coming all the way up the field, but here's the message. He can't tackle me. He can't tackle me. Your safety, Darren Woodson, he can't tackle me. All you can do is trip me. That's a message from Ricky Waters.
And a first down for Seattle at the 39-yard line. Moon, left side, in front of Deion Sanders, who's hobbling, and he hopped right off the field, and that left toe really gave out on him.
He planted on the press to go after Sean Springs, and the foot just gave. Watch Deion. Look at the big pad. That's not Deion's style. He's doing that because of the foot, but right there you saw him make that plant and pivot to go back at the receiver. And most of them planted and made the pivot, but the foot didn't.
George Teague comes on the field now. And on 2nd and 1, the Seahawks get a first down across the 50 to the 49. Well, last week, Deion Sanders injured the left toe in the game at Arizona.
And here's how it happened. Just planting, very innocent looking. He sprains the left big toe. Now, you've seen it do it again, but, you know, this is a 7-day time period that Deion Sanders is trying to bring this toe back. And he's doing it on AstroTurf. I mean, the guy's a stud. The guy's got a pain tolerance, but this might be asking too much.
Charlie Williams in at his spot at right corner. Here's Moon. Sacked, fumbles again. This one is recovered by Seattle. Leon Lett got to him and forced the fumble.
You got a flag down on the field.
Way down at the 27-yard line.
Joey Galloway was working against Kevin Smith.
Defensive holding Dallas.
Holding number 26 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
Dallas is attacking. They're not giving Warren Moon the time. They're trying to jam up the receiver, Joey Galloway, and Galloway's got the blur working, and Kevin Smith's got the hold working, and that's just unnecessary. That is flat unnecessary by Kevin Smith, and he knows it, but defensive backs get desperate when their confidence is down.
First down and 10 after the penalty. 9th penalty on Dallas. Seattle has not been called for one yet. Here's Ricky Waters. Walter Jones helps him around the sideline. And Waters inside the 35. Raymond Godfrey makes the tackle. Coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert scores and highlights. Plus Phil Simms and Greg Gumbel will preview the Oakland-Denver matchup that will be the featured part of our CBS doubleheader. Deion Sanders tried to cover Sean Springs. He got on his right foot and he just He hopped off the field.
Well, that foot isn't going to get any better. I don't care how much he tries to walk it off. Right?
Here's Moon into the right flat. Nice defensive play. The catch made at the 30-yard line by Mike Pritchard, and Darren Woodson is there to make the tackle.
And now an advantage for the Seattle offense is how this defense for Dallas handles no Dion. I mean, he's their crutch. They're used to saying, okay, Dion, you take their best guy and take half the field, and the other 10 of us will take the rest of the receivers in the other half of the field. That's a huge advantage, but Charlie Williams is in at that corner, and they have to play more conventional style coverages now, which is not something they're used to.
1st and 10. Galloway right side, toss to Waters, and he is tackled at the 29-yard line. It's not made by Randall Godfrey and Fred Strickland.
If I'm the Seattle offensive coaches right now, I'm going after the passing game. I'm going after Charlie Williams. They've showed in that last play, Dennis Erickson's coaches upstairs had to see the confusion in the defensive backfield for Dallas. They barely got set before the snap. They were very lucky that Dennis Erickson and the Seahawks had a running play called and not a pass.
Galloway goes left. So does Mike Pritchard. And James McKnight is split right. 2nd and 9. Moon with time. Drills it. Picked off. Intercepted. Picked off by Kevin Smith. And he looks for help as he runs it across the 30. Flags are down. Smith is out of bounds. That is his first interception of the season.
And Warren Moon and the Seattle Seahawks decided to keep attacking Kevin Smith instead of going against the unknown. I don't understand that.
31 of the intercepting team after the interception during the run back. 10 yards, 1st down Dallas.
Yeah, it's not a bad pass by Warren Moon, but you're going into the short side of the field against the veteran receiver, McKnight. Look at the break that Kevin Smith gets working against McKnight. It's the short side. There's more defenders over there. And on the other side, you've got a defensive back in Charlie Williams you don't know about. I mean, you know that the other guys can play some defense. You don't know about him.
That's the first interception thrown by Moon today. He's also got a fumble that was recovered by Dallas. And a 1st down, Cowboys after the penalty at their own 22. Smith. Stiff arm on Fred Thomas. Knocked out of bounds by Jay Bellamy. 18-yard gain.
And this tells you that the Emmitt Smith of old is not the injured guy from the last couple of years right here. Could he have done this last year? Not a chance. Look at that stiff arm on Fred Thomas. He tries to get another one on Bellamy, but watch this stiff arm. Want an execution? Get out of my face. End of report.
And since we are here in Dallas, you'll pardon me if it reminds me of a stiff arm Doak Walker might have thrown 40 years ago. That was 2 minutes from now. Jim, Marcus, Brent, and George. And we'll also have an Oakland-Denver preview for you. That's the 2nd game of our doubleheader. And halftime just a couple of minutes away. Cowboys with 4 wide receivers now. They have 192 yards in total offense so far, and they have scored on 3 of their 4 possessions.
Right over to your left.
Aikman has it batted back, up in the air, caught. This is Sam Adams. Touchdown, Seattle. Sam Adams.
Well, if your offense is going to turn it over and your offense isn't going to take advantage, I guess that's the court of last resort for the Seattle defense. We got to make something happen ourselves. And Chan Gailey's going to see as he looks up just a great individual effort. Sam Adams on a stunt. Not only does he knock it down, there's never a doubt. I mean, he almost knocked it up on purpose, it would look, so he could get that ball and get himself 6 points.
It is a homecoming of sorts for Sam Adams. He's from Houston. He played collegiately at Texas A&M. He's got a lot of friends and family here, and he's just scored his first NFL touchdown. Todd Peterson's extra point is up and good. And the interception off the arm of Troy Aikman, returned by Adams, has given Seattle a lead.
Well, maybe the happiest person on the Seattle sideline besides Sam Adams might be Warren Moon. You know, Warren Moon threw that last pass to James McKnight when they had the ball and just sort of threw it too far inside. Didn't lead his receiver far enough. In fact, when he came to the sideline, he told James McKnight, hey, it's my fault. And Sam Adams makes a play that you don't see a lot of guys make, especially the short tabletop types that Sam Adams is. There's not much altitude there. There's a lot of horizontal. But you see, that's an athlete playing defensive tackle. And when you get there, and it doesn't happen often, you got to have something planned and you got to enjoy it.
Now, do you suppose he's practiced that?
I have no doubt. Defensive linemen don't get to do it very often, but when they get there, they know exactly what they're going to do.
7 points off turnovers for each team. Sam Adams with the interception and the touchdown.
And that's the kind of play that scared Chan Gailey and the Dallas Cowboys about the Seattle Seahawks. They have such great talent. Very, very good athletic ability. He knows that the big things can happen with this team. The Sam Adams play, the blur down the sideline with Joey Galloway. That's what makes the Seattle Seahawks team so dangerous.
Todd Peterson taken by Chris Warren at the 13-yard line. Coming left, tackled by Fred Thomas at the 30. Tuesday on CBS, imagine a stealth fighter going down in the Middle East. It's pilot accused of espionage. How do you save them both? An all-new Jag Tuesday on CBS.
That's a pretty good show. It's a good action show, put it that way. And it's about an attorney, too. I didn't think I'd think about that. I mean, you know, adjutant general and all that. He's basically an attorney, but he's kind of a, you know, he's a man's man.
That's a ringing endorsement, I would say.
But he always looks so shocked that jet flies by him every week.
He's a little skittish. Left side, Chris Warren. Out of bounds at the 32. 1:40 to go before the break. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts left. And we'll be going back to New York for the NASDAQ halftime report, and then after this game, game 2 of the doubleheader. Oakland winners over Seattle a week ago, and 7-3 for the season. They go into Mile High to take on Denver.
Well, I tell you, there's a game in Nashville, that Jets-Tennessee game. Somebody's coming out of there not whole.
Bloody.
There are going to be some body parts laying around in that football game because both teams absolutely have to win it.
2nd and 7, Aikman. That one completes to Jeff Ogden, the rookie from Eastern Washington, to Chad Brown with some pressure. Troy Aikman, of course, sat out the 5 games after injuring his shoulder in Denver, but he has thrown now 3 interceptions this year. Remarkably accurate quarterback.
And when he has the weapons he has, because, you know, when you've got Chris Warren in that backfield and you have 4 wides, you have functionally 5 wide receivers because Chris Warren is an excellent receiver working out of the backfield next to Troy Aikman.
3rd and 1 at the 39. Handed off to Chris Warren. And it's a first down, Dallas to the 45-yard line. Darren Smith, number 59, makes the tackle. Well, one of the intriguing things about this, the Seattle Seahawks won their first 3 games all against NFC Eastern Division opponents. Philadelphia, Washington, Arizona. The Cowboys have won 6 games against division opponents. Fumble! That is a fumble. And we'll see who got it. Sinclair caused it. Dallas recovers. Timeout, Cowboys.
This series, Chan Gailey's offense is being treated like Dennis Erickson's offense was treated there for a while. And they get there an awful lot.
New center in on this play, Clay Shiver for the Cowboys. Kieselak was hurt. Here's Aikman, fires it short. Nice move by Michael Irvin. Across the 50 to the 49, a gain of 10.
And once again, you've got a safety blitzing through late that can't be accounted for, that gets off free. The Cowboy safety blitzed Warren Moon and got there. The Seattle Seahawks safety didn't quite get to Troy. He got rid of the ball.
Shiver hurries out. Aikman hit as he lets it go. One hopper, flag down in the defensive secondary. Darren Smith got to Aikman. There was also contact at the other end. Holding against Seattle.
Holding, number 94 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
No, I don't think that was 94. I don't believe that's Chad Brown. That flag was thrown by the field judge.
There's Chad Brown right there, 94.
Maybe so.
Anticipating the blitz. That's having a good grasp of your designated receiver you're supposed to be covering. That wasn't a whole full-on, hold. That was more of a soft hug, but he got caught.
Jesse Ventura would have turned that one away. First down and 10. Aikman across the middle. Ogden with the catch. Darren Smith with the tackle. Time gone with 32 seconds remaining in the half. Timeout, Dallas. Before the halftime break, how important for Seattle to hold?
Extremely important. They've done a very nice job of creating things. Have they played good football? I don't think so. But they've made the big plays when they've had to make them. And Dallas has said, I want to put these guys away, but they haven't been able to put them away.
Well, Troy Aikman and his club with one timeout left. Second down and 9, and they've got 32 seconds remaining in the first half. Aikman operates out of a shotgun. Essentially a 3-man front for Seattle. They are sending 5, though. Aikman across the middle. Caught. Chris Warren works his way for a first down inside the 30. 11-yard gain. Looks like Troy's going to spike the ball. Does. Stops the clock with 17 to go.
And just remember what Troy Aikman and this offense are looking at on the other side. You've got Sean Springs, who they've tested a few times. And going against Michael Irvin, Sean Springs has held up well. We still have Fred Thomas over on the top side of this defense that's going to have a chance of really being gotten after. And Dallas passing, it has done very well today, but they've been attacking specific parts of the field with a whole bunch of receivers. 10 different people have caught passes.
Wow. Aikman drills it. Caught. Jeffers. First down at the 10-yard line. 22-yard gain. Timeout, Dallas with 6 seconds left.
Troy Aikman has really developed a sort of a great relationship with this young receiver. And, normally, Troy Aikman wouldn't have done that. Under past regimes, Troy Aikman would have spent all his time throwing just to the 2 starters. Troy says, though, with Chan Gailey, I throw to everybody. That's why when I get in these 2-minute situations, I'm very comfortable throwing the ball to Jeffers. I'm comfortable throwing the ball to Ogden. I know their moves. I know the players. It's a great little subtle coaching change that Chan Gailey's made with his football team that is paying some dividends here at the end of the first half.
Richie Cunningham has kicked 2 today. He's on to try and give Dallas a halftime lead. And this one will be held by Bjornsson at the 18-yard line officially, a 28-yard field goal. Three for 3 for Cunningham.
That was shaky. Did you see the officials looking at each other like, what do you think? I don't know. I wasn't standing under the crossbar. Watch the flight. You call this one. What do you think?
Whoa!
It's good, but that's the art of living dangerously there.
Coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim Nance, Marcus Allen Jones, and Seibert. All coming up on the NASDAQ Amex halftime report.
Monday.
A tofu turkey?
Ray's going to have a healthy Thanksgiving.
That looks good, huh?
I would rather eat that page.
Even if it kills him.
It's one meal, Ray.
Richie Cunningham's 3 field goals have helped propel the Cowboys to a 16-14 lead, but certainly it's a tenuous lead that Dallas has at this point.
Very much so. I mean, the penalties they've had all kinds of yards. It's like 247 yards offense in the first half. 10 penalties in the first half, and they're making the mistakes that Seattle was making the last couple weeks, and that's turning the ball over a little bit, but having a lot of penalties. Look at that, 10 for 85 yards. There's your difference. That's why Dallas isn't dominating.
See the total yards, 247 to 113. But 2 big plays, one offensively, one defensively for the Seattle Seahawks.
And Troy Aikman in this offense got off to a good start. You know, Emmitt Smith on a short little screen pass. And Troy Aikman was 20 of 28 for 183 yards in the first half. But we talked about them testing it deep. And the blur, Joey Galloway got himself a big play, and then an unexpected big play. Sam Adams knocks this thing up in the air and then brings it back and gets a chance to pose.
16-14, Chan Gailey's team up on top. Let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Vern, at halftime, Dennis Erickson told me he is happy with the way his offense is moving the ball, and with Dallas's secondary being a little bit hobbled, they will definitely try to throw the ball more, specifically to Joey Galloway, but not so quick because Deion Sanders' status is not known. He may return in the second half, guys.
All right, Michelle.
I think Dallas is crazy if they play Deion Sanders anymore. You don't want that kind of injury to become a chronic problem. You've got what looks to be a playoff team. You want one of your best players on the entire team available in a few weeks. You don't just pound this thing out now. You let it rest.
See Kerry Joseph shielding his eyes as he looks into the sun. And this is a very short kick by Toby Goen. That's a free ball. And Ahman Green let it bounce once, I think anticipating it going out of bounds, and then had to react quickly and cover what was a nearly disastrous mistake.
That's just one of the plays that gives you, that's the kind of play that Seahawks have made the last month or so. The kind of plays where you want to say, what are you thinking? And that ball did not bounce the way he expected it to bounce, but Ahman Green's got to be all over that thing. So what if it turns into a ballad of football and bites and spins back? You got to be there.
16-14 as we get underway in quarter number 3. Warren Moon hands it off to Ricky Waters. Weaves his way across the 15 after the 16-yard line. Darren Woodson there to make the tackle with Leon Lett.
And we saw the halftime stats a little while ago, and it showed you that the Seattle offense, outside of a big play, has not really done a whole lot. And this tells you a lot of what the Seattle Seahawks have been about since the beginning of the season last year. Just beaten one team with a winning record, and that was San Francisco, the last game of the year last year, when the Niners didn't start Steve Young and basically announced to the world they weren't that interested in winning that game.
Second down. Play clock down to 4. They're going to have to hustle. Timeout.
Another one of these mistakes. That's bad communication, and that reflects directly on the coaching staff.
Team Dallas. Seattle has wasted a timeout. They've got a second down and 6.
And that's more of a reflection of what this offense has done than what the defense has done.
Waters. Ricky Waters does a nice job to hang on to it as Kavika Pittman hit him from behind. But a 12-yard gain.
And it's something that Ricky Waters has to be ready to do against this style of a defense, is when you start coming onside, you can pretty much book the fact that when you get past that defensive line, there's some flowing linebackers, and you got to cut across the grain. You see George Teague right there. Wanted to fill up, and Ricky Waters made him choose the wrong gap.
3 wide receiver set on first down and 10. Schmoon into the right flat. That's caught by Galloway at the 35-yard line in front of Kevin Smith.
And remember now, no Deion Sanders. You're looking at a different type of defense when you have Kevin Smith and Charlie Williams. They'll play a much softer style of defense, almost kind of like what Oakland and Denver have done against Joey Galloway and Warren Moon. They play deep, they make everything go underneath, and they make Galloway run crossing patterns and not down the field.
Second and 4, Waters up the middle. And that will be marked for a first down, Seattle.
That was a play there, almost like he predetermined he had to go low. And look at Ricky Waters, he's not happy, because it looked like he wasn't really tackled. It looked like he was determining that he had to go low, had to try to slash in there for that first down, and went down before he got much of a contact, but he got the first down.
At the 40-yard line, first and 10. Opening moments, third quarter. Waters again. And they're finding some room now as he works behind his right guard and right tackle for a gain of 6.
And they're doing it really in the neighborhood of Leon Lett. And Leon Lett is one big old defensive lineman who knows how to move. Leon and Chad Henninger make up the middle of that defense. And look at the nice double team Pete Kendall, Walter Jones, and they just move him back off the ball. That is doing a good job physically of taking an all-pro out of the play.
2nd and 4, and they'll try it again. Waters breaks the tackle behind the line, the first contact, and gets 2. Runs into Randall Godfrey and Omar Stottmeyer.
He saw Ricky Waters a little while ago in the stats he has, and look what they're doing. You would expect them to make their living on the outside. They're doing it in the middle. They're taking on Leon Lett, Chan Henning, Irvin McCormick, all those guys inside, and they're doing a good job of running it in there.
3rd and 2. They give it to Max Strong, the fullback, and he wasn't strong enough.
He wasn't the Lone Ranger. See all those white shirts at the back of the pile? White shirts to be at the front of the pile. When they get to the back of the pile, that means they have physically put people in the backfield. They took the right side of that offensive line, Habib, Gray, and Ballard, and deposited them back behind the line of scrimmage, and Leon Lett and Chad Henning were leading that charge.
Jeff Beagles, who had a career-tying high of 10 punts last week, getting ready to punt for the 2nd time. Chris Warren is back now as Deion Sanders stays on the bench. Fair catch. Whoa! A late fair catch. Called by Chris Warren at the 7-yard line. 46 yards for Jeff Beagles. Nothing on the return. 10 at Texas Stadium.
You ever wonder what offensive linemen do during the week?
Graze a little, huh? 1st and 10. Aikman hands it off to Smith. Spins and gets an additional 2 yards. Chad Brown made the tackle.
And that is another indication that Emmett's getting healthy. You know, the last year or two when he wasn't really healthy, he'd blast into those piles and there'd be no post-blast run. And he got a little post-blast run, 11 carries, 60 yards, needs 30 more yards to move into number 5 position and pass Jim Brown on the all-time rushing list.
2nd and 5 here. Cowboys protecting a 2-point lead. Springs backs off the receiver on the left side. Aikman looks that way, goes right instead, and has Billy Davis at the 20-yard line. That's good for a first down in front of Fred Thomas. And let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
All right, Vern. Well, Dallas's Ernie Mills has been taken to the hospital with a stomach contusion after taking that big hit in the first half from Fred Thomas. In addition to that injury, Deion Sanders has still not yet returned to the field. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Michelle. First down and 10, Dallas at the 20 as they hold on to a 2-point lead. Troy Aikman. Blitz coming. Aikman, good protection across the middle, tipped and almost picked off by Chad Brown. He has been called upon today to play more of a pass defender's role, and he dropped back on that one.
And you know, Vern, he was covering Jeff Ogden, a wide receiver. You've got a linebacker who is really being asked today in these situations to play linebacker. They're bringing in their short on defensive backs, so that means Darren Smith and Chad Brown stay in as linebackers, and normally he's a pass rusher. And now he's running with a wide receiver. That's showing you what he's got.
Ogden breaks out wide right in the slot. 2nd down and 10. Ogden in motion. And here's Aikman back. Settles in the flat, the safety valve. It's caught by Ogden. Out of bounds. Short of the first down at the 29-yard line. Michael Sinclair chasing Jeff Ogden, not Jay. Ernie Mills injured in the 2nd quarter.
And as Michelle Tafoya just reported, has been taken to the hospital. Watch the hit Fred Thomas puts on him. Helmet and shoulder pad right there in the abdominal region, and you saw him just after that was laying on the sideline being looked at the doctors and trainers, and we'll get word if we get it.
3rd and 1. Smith, and the Cowboys are now 8 of 11 on 3rd down conversions, and Fred Thomas is limping toward the sidelines. Willie Williams already on the inactive list because of an injury. And now Fred Thomas comes out.
Not a bad job by the Seattle defense, but you know, see that? I mean, Fred Thomas was running, and suddenly he just hopped up, and like something just sort of popped and tweaked on him.
Terry McDaniel back in at left cornerback now. First down and 10. Smith, left side. Gets a couple to the 35-yard line. Dean Wells, number 95, makes the tackle. Monday on CBS, an event 5 years in the making. David Letterman's 5th anniversary primetime special. Come celebrate with an all-star lineup of guests, including Jerry Seinfeld, Julia Roberts, Madonna, and Dave's mom. Plus, a look back at your favorite Dave moments. David Letterman in primetime Monday on CBS.
Fred Thomas there on the sideline. You know, Letterman has a guy with a plunger on his head, Vernon. We can't get on that thing.
Well, I've been on there.
I don't need on his head.
I don't need it. Michael Irvin in front of Sean Springs, flag down. If the play stands, gain of 19.
The play came in awful late. It actually was after the tackle was made on Michael Irvin down the field.
Yep. This is going to take a while.
If you don't know the number, make one up. We'll cover you.
There is no foul on the play. Player's head went down, but not by the pull of the face mask. Result of the play is a first down.
That's very good. That's very good. They took the time and determined by a cast of votes the Democratic way that there was no penalty. And you know, Sean Springs is playing off. That knee is bothering him. And look at the hand, the left hand. That was a face mask. That left hand did pull that head down.
Sean Springs and Michael Irvin continue their confrontation. Irvin with 6 grabs today. Play fake, Aikman looks deep, left side, goes deep in the middle. He's got Davis open, and it's tipped away as Billy Davis had 2 yards and had to wait on the pass.
It was still a pretty amazing play by Terry McDaniel. You want to talk about close? Remember, folks, you know, we talk about Warren Moon being 42 and Troy Aikman having a birthday yesterday and being 32. You've got a cornerback in Terry McDaniel who's 36 years old, who's being beaten and closes and finds a way to get this thing and knock it away. And he's not trying to knock it down, he's trying to catch it.
Second down, toss to Smith, coming left. Cut down at the 43-yard line, Dean Wells.
Emmett's hurt.
And Riddick Parker, and Emmett's down.
Emmett rolled over and grabbed his leg, and not only that, Nate Newton is also grabbing a leg. Everything stopped so quickly on that play. There's Emmett. There's Nate. He keeps going, and the leg stays behind.
Time has been called. Walked off unaided, and Nate Newton is now up and limping back toward the huddle.
Emmitt Smith needing 21 yards to pass Jim Brown in number 5 position. And I played 10 years at offensive guard pulling. And one thing you knew when you were pulling guard like Nate Newton right here, 61, you got to get out of those piles. Get away from that running back. Make your block and get away, because the bodies fly, defenders fly, and sometimes you're just an innocent victim standing right where you're supposed to be.
Newton heads to the sideline to join Emmitt Smith. Dean Wells also winced a little bit defensively for Seattle. Now Kieselak moved from center to left guard, and Clay Shiver, who started this season as the starting center, is in that spot now, number 50. He is a small-sized offensive center.
And he draws Cortez Kennedy.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 7. Motion, Kieselak.
He had the play running through his head, the technique running through his head. And the head was a little early.
That is the 11th penalty on Dallas. Kieselak, 5-yard penalty. 3rd and 12.
Seattle's gone to their 3-man line look. That means you're going to get a Chad Brown as the rusher. Just a matter of where you're going to get him rushing. He's in at left inside linebacker right now. He'll hop around.
Now he backs out. And he backs away. 3-man rush. Aikman scrambles and fires it for Warren, and it was low.
That's a good job by that Seattle defense. Make them think rush. Make them think you're getting Chad Brown, and then drop off and cover everybody. Troy had him deep. Troy had him short. But wherever they were at, the Seattle defense had him.
And Matt LaBounty was the man closest to Troy Aikman when he finally got rid of it. Now Toby Goen, second punt. And Kerry Joseph shields his eyes from the sun in that glare of that rectangle in the corner of Texas Stadium. High snap, going, kicks it deep. That's a terrific punt, but it is not down. It goes into the end zone. Billy Davis was down there. Touchback, it comes out to the 20. Seahawks trail by 2, and they have the football. Warren Moon and the Seahawks at the 20 following the touchback. Trailing by 2. He'll throw on first down. Goes deep down the middle. Sliding catch made. Picked up by Mike Pritchard, and he is down finally at the 47. 48 make it of Dallas, a 32-yard gain.
Hey, that's something that this offense has really been missing. That's getting a big play down the field from somebody besides Joey Galloway. Last year it was McKnight. To some extent it's been Pritchard the last couple of years, but this is what they need to get things a little bit looser over on Joey Galloway's side. That's going down after it there. That's almost like a second baseman playing on a bad infield, staying down on the ball when it's going to take a bad bounce.
Galloway comes near side as Pritchard goes top of the screen. 1st and 10 at the Cowboy 48-yard line. Ryan Blades in the lineup. Moon goes deep left side, and they test the cornerback Williams, and Pritchard can't hang on. Charlie Williams, who is on in place of the injured Deion Sanders.
Well, this is a communication thing between Warren Moon and Michael Pritchard when you throw it this far behind. He's throwing this ball right at the middle of the defensive back, Kevin Smith's back, right into Charlie Williams' back. Michael Pritchard has to know when he sees that. He's got to put the air brakes on and come back to get that.
Galloway and Blades come right. Pritchard again left. This time Williams up. Here comes the blitz. They got him. Dexter Coakley.
That's a little different. Last possession, Seattle ran the ball successfully because they were blocking the linemen. Well, they got most of the linemen on this one. They just didn't get the linebackers blitzing because Godfrey and Coakley were blitzing there.
Loss of 2. 3rd and 12. Seattle 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions today. After that 0 for last week when they were making 1 of 3. Moon dances right. Buys some time. Now circles way back to his left. Chased by Kavika Pittman out of bounds at the 50.
Just the push and the pressure. Leon Lett working on the outside against Walter Jones at defensive end. Warren Moon can kind of feel that. He knows Leon Lett's there, but you know, when Warren Moon started playing football 20-something years ago in the pros, they weren't making guys like Kavika Pittman at 6'7", 270 pounds that can run him down.
Eagles on a punt for the 3rd time. Chris Warren waits for it. Gathers it in at the 13-yard line. Slips a tackle and then is knocked off his feet at the 19. 37-yard punt. Hillary Butler, number 55, got there and delivered the blow.
Breaking down, getting the hit in position. Watch him break down Look at that, bending the knees, getting ready to hit. Chris Warren evades him, but the reason that pursuit has the time to get there is because he did a good job of breaking down.
Emmitt Smith back in the backfield for the Cowboys. Nate Newton is also back. Here's Smith. And he gets 1 yard, maybe a yard and a half at left tackle. Jay Bellamy and Philip Daniels, numbers 20 and 93, make the stop. Tomorrow on CBS, a night of Thanksgiving comedy, beginning with a special guest appearance by Martha Stewart on Cosby. And the pre-holiday madness continues, it says here, The King of Queens, followed by Monday night's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond. Then an event 5 years in the making, David Letterman's 5th anniversary primetime special. 2nd and 9. Aikman across the middle, tight end, David LaFleur. To the 44-yard line, a gain of 24.
Now, David LaFleur was one of those tight ends that Troy Aikman traveled around and auditioned before the draft a couple years ago. But LaFleur, watch him as he comes out, and the kind of package you got when you're talking about a LaFleur. You got to remember the fact that you've got a guy 6'7", 275 pounds, running down deep into the field like that. That's the evolution of the tight end position. It used to be Novacek. He was undersized. Nothing undersized about LaFleur.
Davis in motion, followed by Fred Thomas. The handoff, Emmitt Smith. And he's racked up after a gain of 1.
We talked about earlier, Bernie, what a good job Troy Aikman was doing spreading this ball around. And look, the tight ends, his key is his running backs, and his key is his throwing the ball to the wide receivers. And it's exactly what's happened here today. But it's the number of people that have caught passes that I think is even more impressive. Heck, late in the second quarter, he'd already thrown the ball to 11 different people.
241 yards passing thus far for Troy Aikman. 2nd down and 9. Motion, left side. That'll be a dead ball foul. It'll cost the Cowboys 5 as they...
Number 87. 5 yards. It's still 2nd down.
Thanksgiving weekend, we invite you to be with us for college football. LSU, Arkansas, or West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Friday at 2:30 Eastern. And then on Saturday, a doubleheader, Georgia Tech, Georgia, and Miami against Syracuse. Saturday at 12 Eastern time.
Those Miami Hurricanes got a big game coming up December 5th, too.
And who might they be playing then, Randy?
UCLA, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Troy Aikman told me that, as if you hadn't reminded me. That one completed at the 45-yard line to Michael Irvin in front of Sean Springs. A gain of 15. Well, they're jawing at each other.
Well, they're going to jaw at each other, and there's a University of Miami alum, Sean Springs, Ohio State, another team in the national chase in the college football scene. But I guarantee you, there has not been a quiet moment. Anytime those guys have been within 5 yards of each other, they've been talking. And look, that's physical. That's Springs playing well. That's Irvin playing better. And now the fun part starts.
Irvin.
Oh, look at that. Get out of here. He's smiling.
7 for 91 for Michael Irvin. And Aikman will throw again. Drills it. Incomplete. At the 35-yard line.
A good job by Fred Thomas. Just coming in there to break that one up. No wonder he keeps running out of his shoes. You got to tie them. That's just like, that's a token tie. Because that's spoken by a guy like, I used to tape my shoes to my feet so they wouldn't come off. I also kind of thought that made me look fast.
Yeah, it was a nice look.
That was called being delusional.
2nd and 10. Spats, huh? Aikman? Nope. He'll scramble. Knee goes down. Now, did they spot it with enough yardage for the first down?
Well, that wasn't a slide, Vern.
Yeah.
He was physically moving forward, so they'll mark that ball where the ball was, not where the ball was when the slide started. You talked about me and Spats. You know, Spats are on fast guys. Us slow guys just kind of have tape on our shoes. And poor Troy Aikman, I think if he had that same deal on his feet, he'd have tape on his shoes. He's a tape on his shoe guy, but see him go forward, and that's why that's going to be a first down, is because the ball was moving forward and he wasn't sliding. That's heads up. And remember, this is a guy with a collarbone, left collarbone that's been healing up, and he's not afraid to run.
That's the end of 3 at Texas Stadium. The Cowboys holding on to a 2-point edge. And they'll return to Texas Stadium in Irvin right after this message and a word from your local station. Stadium Irving, Vern Lundquist, Randy Cross, Michelle Taboya. The Cowboys leading 16-14 as we enter the final fray. And Emmitt Smith out for a couple of plays with a foot injury back in the lineup. So also was Nate Newton.
Right, he's got 16 carries for 71 yards, and he's 19 yards now to catch up to Jim Brown and pass him for number 5 in the all-time list. And you got to think they're going to feed him the ball some in this 4th quarter.
Toss to Smith, comes right. And runs into some traffic, works his way down to the 31-yard line.
Hey, that's one thing Emmitt Smith talked about the change in this offense and the change in the running game because of the health of the offensive line and the health of Daryl Johnston. And he's now got 74 yards. And that defense knows they're going to run something. And he made the comment, Bernie says, you know, there's only so many ways you can slice pound cake. And,
right.
You know, he goes, it got to the point last year, instead of having Daryl Johnston in front of me, I had Herschel Walker as my lead blocker.
Aikman, pump, throw, man open, LaFleur. Bellamy gets him, but got there too late. 13-yard gain and another first down.
Well, you know, Vern, you do a lot of basketball.
Yes.
And you can look for those matchups size-wise when you get a big guy that can post up a little guy. And here's an instance of Bellamy, the little guy, being posted up by the 6'7" LaFleur, who not only has got him posted up, he's moving away from him. That's not a good sign.
3 catches for LaFleur, 39 yards. Timeout called by Troy Aikman the minute he got to the line. Oh, something he didn't like. 13:45 to go. The 4th quarter in this splendid November afternoon, and Troy Aikman having a terrific day. He spread it around, 10 different receivers so far.
And that's the opposite of what we expected coming in here. You figured Moon to throw it a lot and Troy to hand it to Emmitt.
First down and 10. Aikman goes right. Billy Davis open, touchdown.
Well, we were away before. Michael Irvin and Sean Springs were yapping back and forth at each other. You see Michael Irvin get into more stuff. There's psychology involved in that. He's trying to get a defense's attention focused on him and not on everybody else. And Billy Davis and Troy Aikman make the defense pay for having a little bit too much focus on Michael Irvin.
Billy Davis, 3 catches last year, the whole season, made this ball club as a special team star. 4 catches today, including that touchdown grab. He's got 26 for the season, and he gives the Cowboys a 23-14 lead. Cowboys have had the ball 7 possessions today. They have scored on 5 of them. The last drive, 81 yards, 9 plays. Billy Davis with an 18-yard reception.
Just a beautiful job of timing football between Troy Aikman and Billy Davis.
Toby Goen will kick it off. Lamont Green grabs it at the 5. And he's grabbed at the 20.
Remember I talked about what happened with Michael Irvin and trying to get the defense's attention? And that's trying to get attention too, but I won't dignify that with a reaction. Watch the safeties and how they react to Troy Aikman, and look at the timing involved. Billy Davis, bottom of the screen. Darrell Williams, top of the screen. Troy weaves the ball in there before Williams can get over. That's just perfect.
2 touchdown tosses for Troy Aikman today. Warren Moon and the Seattle offense have a go at it. He had Max Strong split out right side. He goes upfield to Ricky Waters, and Waters knocked out of bounds by Kevin Smith.
You can't say enough about the job that this Dallas defense has done, and in spite of that, you know, Warren Moon, on that last play, or right before that, is now over 50,000 yards passing.
Second down and 4. And a flag is thrown.
There's one of those mental mistakes.
Start. Number 62, 5 yards. It's still second down.
I tell you, Dennis Erickson has seen his offense stifled. They've made the big play with Joey Galloway, but they have run 31 offensive plays to Dallas's 61 offensive plays in a little bit less, a little bit more than 3/4 of football. They have just been frustrated.
Second and 9. Batted back. Incomplete. Tipped by Kavika Pittman. And let's go back to New York for this update.
All right, guys, Pittsburgh trying to fight its way back in the Central Division race of the AFC. Cordell Stewart with a touchdown pass to Mark Bruner, and it's now 23-7 with 8:44 remaining in the game. Back to Vernon Randy.
All right, Jim. 61 plays to 32 for Seattle. Flags again. Walter Jones at left tackle. Crowd's getting rowdy.
False start, number 62. The right guard, false start. 5 yards. It's still third down.
Well, he also had some company because the left tackle was also moving. But, normally here at Texas Stadium, you've been here for years, Vern. I mean, for years. And you know this place, it just isn't loud. It's usually very quiet.
Not normally demonstrative.
That's why you carry that dictionary around with you. You got those good words.
Third and 14. Moon across the middle route. It'll be fourth down. I remember, Randy, we're talking about length of years. I was here the day the stadium opened, October of '71. They, much like today, in New England came into town. This was the first place with private suites. You could buy one for $50,000 back then. And after the game, Ralph Neely, the right tackle, was asked what he thought. He said, when we came running out for the introductions, I thought those people in the private suites were going to go thumbs up or thumbs down. It reminded me of a Roman amphitheater. Here's Chris Warren. And he's out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
So I guess the decision was made. It was either put in the suites or finish the roof.
Yep. Warren out of bounds. A 50-yard punt. Hole still there.
Joan London for Claritin.
For years, I tried to deal with seasonal allergies. I took a million different kinds of over-the-counter antihistamines. Had a cupboard filled with allergens.
Team trails by 9. Dallas with the ball at their own 39-yard line. Reverse. Jeff Ogden across the 50 to the 49. Brad Thomas.
Remember last week, the Dallas Cowboys ran kind of an option. Look at the soft corner that gets created here by the linebackers reacting to the run the other way. Chad Brown bites down, and here he comes around the outside. But a nice job by Fred Thomas fighting off the attempted block by Billy Davis and making that tackle.
First and 10, Dallas. Trying to go 8-3 for the year. Warren in the lineup, and he gets one. Let's go back to New York. Here's Jim Nance for another NFL update.
All right, guys, let's not give up on Jacksonville quite yet. The Jags snag a touchdown on the long pass from Brunell to the ex-Cowboy Jimmy Smith, and they add a 2-point pass to McCardell. So 7 minutes to go. It's an 8-point game. Back to you.
All right, Jim. 9-point game here, and the Cowboys have the second down play coming up. Second down and 8. Emmett Smith getting a rest. Chris Warren in the backfield.
Seattle offense hasn't done much. The defense knows they're going to be the ones to make the play.
Warren still going. And a sweet measure of revenge for Chris Warren.
Yeah, this offensive line is back to the old style. And when you talk about old linemen and being able to move 340-something pounds of dominating offensive tackle, just speed bumps Chad Brown. Larry Allen, there are not very many tackles can make that block right there, and that's against an all-pro player in Chad Brown. And 328, don't believe that.
Billy Davis heads wide to the left after the 35-yard run. Quick one to Michael Irvin with Sean Springs. Now watch the conversation. Or not. Yeah. Mumbling through the mouthpiece.
But in this situation here, too, you got down here because of some great line blocking by Larry Allen and company. And Chan Gailey and the Dallas Cowboys know they got that in their back pocket. And you worry about Larry Allen. You worry about Eric Williams. If you're the Seattle defense, you know they've got two good, strong hands. Like a puncher can knock you out with either one.
Second and 3 at the 5. Aikman. Flag thrown. That's going to be intentional grounding.
Yeah, Troy Aikman had no choice. There was nothing.
Intentional grounding. Number 8 of the offense. 10 yards. Loss of down. Third down.
Well, here's the area you got to look, is up in this area where the ball ends up. Check and see how many white jerseys end up in that area. Nice job by the Seattle defense. They're attacking. Darren Smith is getting there. And the nearest Cowboy to that might be up in one of those luxury boxes you were talking about, and that would be a former Cowboy.
Any number of whom have done quite well and can afford them. Third and 13. Little toss to Warren. He heads left. He gets by Bellamy. He is out of bounds, just short.
Wow. From a scheme standpoint, you know this defense is quick. What do? You bring the wide receiver in, you stick him and you chop him down on the defensive end, and you pull Larry Allen. Look at Matt LeBounty, 99. Whack, he gets hit. And now you've got a cornerback in McDaniel against a 330, 340-pound tackle. That is great scheming and game planning, and Warren just can't get that ball around the pylon to get it in for a touchdown.
Mickey Sualua comes in as a third back, actually blocking back in the wing to the left. He's in motion. Warren stopped just short. Tackle made by Kerry Joseph, number 40.
You know, sometimes an offensive performance just looks so crisp and clean. The play just works perfectly. And when you see a play like that, it's, you know, in spite of having a Larry Allen over there, and in spite of having the guys that they do have with Kieselak and Newton, the defense of Seattle made that play look very uneven, thanks to the charge mainly of Cortez Kennedy, the defensive tackle.
Second and goal. Sam Adams, number 98.
Well, they're just trying right here to create something, get Kieselak and company to get people off the ball, but you can't get Dean Wells, you didn't get Sam Adams, you didn't get Cortez Kennedy, That is some team defense staying low. Look at the middle. Look at the penetration by the blue jerseys. What kind of a shot did he have? How about none?
3rd and goal. Play fake. Aikman in the end zone. No, incomplete. Holding. Is there a flag? Yes, there is.
David LaFleur was working against Bellamy.
Have 2 fouls on the play. Holding, number 20 of the defense. That penalty is declined. Holding, number 99 of the defense. That penalty is accepted. Half a distance to the goal. 1st down.
How do you decide which one to take?
Well, you had one on the outside with Bellamy. You had Matt LeBounty, 99. Watch Bjornsson here, 86, comes in motion, working against Bellamy. There's the first one. That is definitely a hold. I don't care if it's inside the frame of the body or not. That is a hold. And the other one was on the left-hand side of the offense.
And as a result, 1st and goal. Well, they're going to keep going back to Warren until they get the touchdown.
They're going to get Chris Warren a touchdown against his former team. Remember, Chris Warren was the feature back the last few years for the Seattle Seahawks until they decided to go into the free agency market, bring in Ricky Watters as that last final missing piece of the puzzle. Ricky Watters is just the latest, looks good on paper guy for the Seattle Seahawks. He's doing what Ricky Watters does, but there's little coordination of all that. And I'm sorry, Chris Warren can't play with one shoe. You can't have one shoe in one hand, the other shoe on your right foot, and figure that's all going to work out fine. He doesn't want to come out. Look at him. He still throws the shoe off. What are you going to score with that one?
Sure.
No, it can't be done. You can't do it with 2 shoes. How are you going to do it with 1?
Shoeless Chris Warren.
CBS is sponsored by Dollar Rent-A-Car. Dollar makes sense. And by Honda ATVs. Honda, best on earth.
7:06 remaining in regulation. Game 11 of the 1998 season. The Cowboys trying to go outside the conference for their first victory over a non-NFC foe today. And they lead by 9, 23-19. Let's try Chris Warren again. Touchdown, Dallas. You really don't want to be under Eric Williams after you score.
Not when he's trying to make a point. He's happy for Chris Warren, but you can break ribs when somebody's that happy for you. He's happy for 2 reasons. Warren gets to score against his former team, and he did it right behind Eric Williams, just getting a dominating block on Dean Wells. Ow! That hurt me.
Richie Cunningham. Scoring drive of 61 yards in 10 plays, and it took 5:07. Of course, it's the traditional short week for the Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. And on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we invite you to be with us as Pittsburgh goes into Detroit to take on the Lions. Thanksgiving Day, 12:30 Eastern Time on CBS.
Yeah, anytime you get a chance to watch Barry Sanders do it, because much like, you know, football fans in the late 50s, early 60s talk about watching Jim Brown. They say Jim Brown's the greatest runner ever. Well, you know, if you haven't seen Barry Sanders, you won't have the chance to tell people, you know, 30, 40 years from now that you saw the greatest running back that ever lived.
Doubleheader for you today on CBS, and the second game will feature Oakland against Denver as the Broncos try and remain undefeated. The Jets with a very significant game in Tennessee, and Kansas City tries to right a listing ship as they go into San Diego. Of course, the Cowboys, their traditional short week, they have a game of some small significance coming up here on Thursday against the Minnesota Vikings.
But they've also got a 4-game stretch here where it's all out of division, and it's their opportunity to create some space, win their division, secure their playoff spot, and let the rest of the league know they're still around.
Toby Goen kicks it deep. Steve Broussard, who had a 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown earlier this year, carries it out across the 20 to the 25-yard line. George Teague makes the tackle.
Yeah, Vern, we talked about the suites and being here when it opened and all that fun stuff and the traditions and the things here at Texas Stadium, besides the hole in the roof. But here's a little something for you.
Oh, man.
Vern Lundquist, Frank Gleber, and Brad Sham, who is still doing the games for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, had a little hair. Badly combed, but had a little hair.
I haven't seen a microphone like that since the first Godzilla movie.
Frank Gleber, of course, was a dear friend and a colleague who passed away at the age of 51 in 1985, and his son Craig is still a member of the staff of the Dallas Cowboys. His other youngest son Mitchell is on the staff of the Dallas Mavericks, and Craig and Mitch doing very well here in Dallas. Frank missed by many of us, and Brad is upstairs in his 20th season as the Cowboy radio announcer. It's fun to come home.
Good looking stuff. And on that kickoff, the Dallas Cowboys were offside, so now they can kick from the 25-yard line, which is guaranteed to set up good field position for the Cowboys, or for the Seahawks.
Goen will kick it deep. .48 to go. Broussard out to the 32-yard. Well, Brad Sham, as I said, joined me in 1976, and there's my buddy right there, Brad Sham. Left the Cowboys for a couple of years. He now works with Babe Laufenberg, and Babe is the sports anchor of KTVT, our CBS affiliate. There's Babe and Brad. They're way upstairs. That's changed.
Some valuable space down here low.
Isn't there, though? These suites don't go for 50,000 anymore. First down, Warren Moon. Right side, caught. Elia Moody, the tight end. His first catch as a pro in his second season with the Seattle Seahawks. Tulavili.
Well, you got to do something a little bit different. When the regular stuff's not working, you've got to go to the next option. Next option in this case being Mealy. And he's a young guy. They're very excited about getting involved in this offense. You know, obviously, from their excitement, it's something they'd like to work in about next training camp, next year. But this is an option they've got to explore now.
At the 48-yard line, first down and 10. Blitz coming. Moon back. One hopper. We mentioned on the last Seattle possession that Warren Moon had gone over 50,000 yards. We were 1,000 yards short. Warren Moon's career now at 49,045. John Elway has been waiting a couple of weeks to join Dan Marino in the 50,000 plus club, and should get that opportunity this afternoon. We expect John to play, and for Warren, we hope it goes this year, but it's not going to come this afternoon. Moon back. Across the middle, caught at the 35. Tackle made by Mike Pritchard.
This is not really, per se, a hurry-up, no huddle. This is just moving with a good sense of urgency. Your line gets up there, they get their call, they get set, and then you let your quarterback do his thing, moving his receivers around.
Moon gets rid of it. Leon Lett was right in his face.
And Leon's not happy. Leon was right there. And what kind of a strong arm is this? He's running backwards. And there's a slight matter of about 300 pounds of Leon Lett about to hit him. And as he's falling backwards, he fires that ball about 35 yards to his receiver for a good completion.
2nd and 4.
That's not treating your elders very nicely.
Off his back foot, right sideline, incomplete. Flag thrown on Kevin Smith. James McKnight, the intended receiver.
Did he impede the receiver running down the field? That is always the decision.
Pass interference. Number 26 of the defense. Automatic first down.
You can't grab him. You can't bar him from running down the field. The arms on both people in the screen, you got to see them moving. If they're not moving, you know one of them's holding. And you see Kevin Smith had that right arm across the chest of McKnight. And that's the call that the officials made. That's a very good call by the official.
19-yard penalty. And it gives Seattle a 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line. 30-14, Cowboys. Moon tipped. And it was tipped by Greg Ellis, number 98.
Greg Ellis is just one of a few rookies this year in 1998, really making an impact on their defenses. Ellis, the rookie out of North Carolina, just had the good push on Walter Jones, himself only a 2nd-year player. And, you know, that's sort of doing everything the coach asked you to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in practice. I want you to get the guy. I want you to knock him back in the backfield. If you can't get there, knock it down.
2nd and goal. Dead ball foul. Illegal procedure. Seattle.
False start. Number 49 of the offense. 5 yards. It's still 2nd down.
Penalty called on the tight end, Itulamili.
That's just purely a case where you got a guy in there that hasn't played much.
Right.
He's not used to, not only he's in Texas Stadium, which he probably grew up watching games being played here. He's going against the Dallas Cowboys. He's playing with Warren Moon in a tension situation, and you lose concentration if you're not used to it.
2nd and goal. At 1 point, 2nd quarter, Seattle led it 14-13. Moon into the end zone, intended for Galloway.
Well, Leon Lett is getting off the ball and just going after people. The officials are in the end zone having a little meeting. So one of the officials reached for a flag and not throw a flag. It didn't appear, but he came out of that reach as saying, grabbing like this, like holding, and pointing towards the defense.
Kevin Smith says no way. Jerry Austin says
there is no pass interference because the ball was uncatchable. 3rd down.
This is a play that was originally designed for Warren Moon to hit on timing. 1, 2, 3, go. Who did I talk about a little while ago coming after him? You've got McCormick on one side and big Leon Lett coming from the other side, and you had the holding called off because the ball was uncatchable. I'm not sure if he wasn't being held, if it wouldn't have been catchable.
As a result of all of that, it's 3rd and goal. Moon across the middle, Pritchard at the 5-yard line. And that will lead to a 4th down play coming up.
Yeah, this is not a field goal kicking part of the field. Michael Pritchard's still a little bit dazed down after that play, but this is not kick a field goal time. You're down 30-14 with 4 minutes and 49 seconds to go. You're going to punch this one in the end zone. The heck with 3 points. Yeah, what has Seattle got to lose? They're 5-5, 2-5 in the last 7 games. Things have been going south. This is perfect timing and the only decision Dennis Erickson and his coaches have.
Brian Blades on. Galloway and Blades go wide to the right side. McKnight wide left. 4th and goal at the 5. For McKnight, caught, touchdown. Yards for the TD in front of Charlie Williams.
Well, that's a good timing pass. Look at McKnight 82 and watch what he does. This is faith. This is faith in the fact that he's worked with Warren Moon, and he knows where Warren's going to put that ball. So he presses up and then turns inside towards the quarterback and knows he's going to get that ball there from Warren. And Seattle's doing what they should have done last play, too. You go for it on 4th, and here you go for 2 points.
1 of 3 on 2-point conversions thus far this season. The Seattle Seahawks. Galloway left side. And they hand it off to Waters. They got it. Ricky Waters over right guard Brian Habib, and is in for the 2 points.
This is a good attitude play by Dennis Erickson's offense. They haven't done a whole bunch in the way of long sustained things today, but they sure did one right here. They finish it off with the pass, and they finish off the pass with a 2-point run. Ricky Waters taking this thing in, and Seattle defense wanted some help. They wanted a chance to be in this game. They just got it from their offense. Now they got to get the ball back and away from Dallas's offense. Watch him go down low. Drive, ball's over, knees down, score.
Chan Gailey saw his team almost blow a 28-point lead last week in Arizona. They were up 28-0 just before the 2-minute warning, and then 35-14 at one point. Arizona came back and had a chance to tie or take the lead at the end of the game.
And that last touchdown is all set up by the coordination between Warren Moon and McKnight. Because as Moon throws it, McKnight is turning inside towards the quarterback and away from the defensive back Williams, and being right where Warren Moon can get him that touchdown.
4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Seattle has 2 timeouts remaining. McKnight, a 5-yard touchdown reception, 68 yards on the drive. Warren grabs it and is across the 20 down to the 22-yard line. So was 4:19 remaining in the regulation play, and an 8-point margin. I would assume that Troy Aikman and the Cowboys decide not to change anything.
Well, absolutely. You've been running the ball effectively, but more importantly, you've been really throwing the good high percentage accurate passes, and I don't think they do anything differently right here from their standpoint. From Seattle's standpoint, their defensive coordinator has to take risks. Greg McMacken, the coordinator, can't play vanilla here. You have just got to go right now and say, this is our season. This is 98. If we don't win this one, we can pretty much, stick a fork in us.
Chris Warren stays in the backfield. Emmitt Smith remains on the bench, injured earlier in this half. Warren gets the handoff and picks up 1 yard. Sam Adams, number 98. Now let's check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Vern, Deion Sanders aggravated that left big toe in the first half and has remained in the locker room having it treated since halftime. I'm told that if there had been a must-play situation, he probably could have played, but Dallas decided to let him rest, guys.
Greg McMacken just to the right of Dennis Erickson, the defensive coordinator. There's McMacken, who is hoping his team can create turnovers here or stop the Cowboys. That pass behind Darryl Johnston, incomplete.
Hey, I'll tell you the thing that, and the person this offense misses is Emmitt Smith. That is the difference. Troy Aikman was throwing the way he was throwing because Emmitt Smith was running the ball so effectively, and the line was blocking so well. And they just look a little bit out of whack. And if you're a Cowboy fan, you don't want to see Emmitt Smith standing back there or sitting back there with a baseball cap on.
He's standing behind Dr. Jose Zamorano, as a matter of fact. Emmitt watches now on 3rd and 10. Draw play. They had Warren behind the line, and they do stop him before he gets the first down.
Dennis Erickson wants a timeout bad, and I think he just got it.
Seattle uses its second. It has 1 left. And they stop the clock with 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in regulation. Coming tonight on CBS, Dr. Jack Kevorkian got away with helping more than 100 people commit suicide. But what 60 Minutes will show you tonight could land him in jail tomorrow morning. Then real-life husband and wife Bruce Boxleitner and Melissa Gilbert star on Touched by an Angel. And Hallmark Hall of Fame presents the story of the young man whose life takes on an unexpected turn when tragedy strikes, leaving him to raise his brother's family. St. Maybe tonight on CBS. Going on to punt, Joey Galloway back to return. He had a touchdown on a punt return last week.
Well, you know, Goen is hurt all week long in critical situations. Don't kick it to Joey Galloway. Kick directional, and make sure if you kick it shorter, you just take that as your medicine without hanging the ball up to Joey Galloway. You give him something he can return, he's going to kill you with it.
Galloway waves everybody away, and then, whoa.